We're here for all of it. And obviously, we've been talking a lot about Brady and Rodgers, but let's not forget about this guy because he is something special. Max, when we're looking at the Chiefs, though, besides Mahomes, which player is really the key to their success?
Orlando Brown Jr. I mean, I cannot believe the Ravens. I know Baltimore had to do some things. They had to get some relief and all this. You trade him to the Chiefs? Wait a minute. The Chiefs' offensive line was in shambles.
People to the Chiefs.
It was in shambles, right? Like, the reason they lost the Super Bowl, first and foremost, is no quarterback in the history of the Super Bowl ever been pressured on as many snaps as Patrick Mahomes. And everyone was covered. They didn't have to bring any extra guys. No offensive line. So how do they fix it? And they also signed Tooney. That's amazing. Their left side is locked down. They got Blythe from the Rams. He may not even start. They're deep now, and they're good, and Remmers is good on the right side. But the best player is your left tackle. And you mean to tell me you bring in a premium left tackle from your maybe chief rival in the NFC, so to speak, chief rival in the NFC, and in the AFC, rather? Now, think about Patrick Mahomes. What we're going to remember from last year's Super Bowl, the plays were going to be all Patrick Mahomes. He was the most spectacular player in the Super Bowl while he was running for his life. Now he knows his blind side's good, right? He has at a Pro Bowl level blindside protection. Good Lord, what's about to happen to the NFL?
Man, I got to give my boy Dan Orlovsky some credit because he talked about this is going to be the best version of the Chiefs offense that we've seen. And to your point, Max, Orlando makes that happen. I'm going to go a little bit unconventional with my guy, Mecole Hardman. I think they need a second receiver to step up. I think he needs to be a five-tool player. Max, you love baseball. I think he needs to create for this offense because between Tyreek and Travis Kelce, we all know that they are going to have success, and Patrick Mahomes is going to be able to get them to rock. But I believe Mecole Hardman can be a game changer. He's explosive. We all know how good he is with the ball in his hands. But remember, Sammy Watkins went to Baltimore.
Yeah, he's gone.
And now you have an opportunity to step up in that number 2 receiver spot and really become a guy in this offense that Patrick Mahomes not only counts on, but another explosive play type of guy. Because when we all know, Max, to your point, the consensus is you always got to have an offensive line. Like, we learned that. The most important unit on a football team is the offensive line because the quarterback got to be protected, and the quarterback is the most important player in particular as an individual. But when I look at this offense and I look at explosiveness, and you think about how, because this is one thing Patrick Mahomes doesn't get credit for, and we always talk about the no-look throws, and we talk about Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. Patrick Mahomes loves to spread the football around.
Yeah, don't let Mecole take a step. If he takes a step forward in development, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Max, think about it. Think about if Mecole Hardman becomes Emmanuel Sanders when Emmanuel Sanders started rolling.
Impossible. It's impossible.
They unguardable as much as they've been unguardable already. So I look at him, and I know a lot of people have different opinions, but when you look at now that this offensive line is intact, focusing on these skill position players and thinking about what they lost at the wide receiver. Because, look, Sammy Watkins wasn't great, but he was reliable. He was dependable. He was another guy that Patrick Mahomes had full confidence in that if I need to get him the ball, he's going to deliver for me.
And
was huge in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, listen, Mecole Hardman steps up and becomes that guy at the number 2. It's over.
It's over.
I bet you they're loving right now because doesn't it feel like the Chiefs are flying under the radar a little bit, as ridiculous that sounds, with all the Bucks running it back and all their rings and this Aaron Rodgers stuff, and the Chiefs just, no look passing people. All right, we'll leave it there. More football coming up just around the bend. Which NFC West powerhouse has the best chance to win the division? Some ridiculous quarterbacks. Which is the best? Plus, just hours away from the NBA draft, everyone. How will things shake out at the very top? Might the Pistons get crazy and not take Cade? What? Stay tuned.
Oh, Jalen, be upset.
Very upset.
As far as him being the head coach. So we all have these stories. I guarantee every NFL player with 5 years of plus experience as far as playing and starting at a high level feels bad about certain guys that were released. One of the guys that I thought that Dallas let go, one of my vets when I came in the league, was Greg Ellis. Greg Ellis went to Oakland and went to the Pro Bowl the next year. We knew he could still play. So this is not just in particular to Aaron Rodgers and how he feels about how Green Bay has managed things.
But communication is important. And another Tim Hasselbeck story from yesterday was he mentioned Eli Manning when he was with the Giants. Eli Manning, Molly, I'm sure you'll be interested in we're talking about the 07-08 Super Bowl now against the undefeated Patriots, the greatest team ever. They're about to be called the greatest team ever. But during the season, or maybe it was a preseason, they weren't convinced about David Tyree. They thought he was the worst receiver in the corps, right?
Yep.
And Eli Manning was like, no. I like that guy. He's not the fastest. He's not the biggest. I trust him. He's where he's supposed to be. Yeah. He's a team guy. We should not get rid of Tyree. So you know what the Giants did? They held on to Tyree. And you know what Tyree did? He held on to the ball in the Super Bowl for one of the greatest catches in American history. If it touched a blade of grass, no good. But they won the Super Bowl because they had David Tyree, because they listened to their veteran quarterback. And Eli Manning was no Aaron Rodgers. But when he gave input, they took it seriously. They certainly weren't arrogant enough to tell him to get in your place.
He deserves that.
Absolutely,
I just had to ask
Aaron
the question because I feel like I have so much respect for Aaron Rodgers right now and his heart and his character and everything that he showed. But there was part of me, I had a little pause. And I hate as a woman more than anything when someone calls you sensitive or emotional. And I said, is he being too sensitive or too emotional here in terms of just focusing on the humanity when it's really actually a business? So that's why I just wanted to clear that up with you, Marcus. But let's keep going. I want to play a very telling soundbite here where Aaron Rodgers caught himself. Pay attention.
That's why I just have to focus on this season, and I love this team. I love the fans, and the opportunity to play on Lambeau Field has been a dream come true. To be in my 17th season is really special. I don't take that for granted.
You know, Marcus, you saw this press conference and you were like, I'm on my boss-ish. I'm going to break out the new look, the fresh shades, because Aaron Rodgers got me hyped like that. Your reaction to that?
He don't love the organization. That's number one. I know he said it later on. I believe later on he said he loved the organization, but he doesn't. And everything. Listen, we have this press conference from Aaron Rodgers, and we have a full offseason of Aaron Rodgers who got up there and said, I didn't say anything. That was the damn problem, that you didn't say nothing. You didn't say anything about what this franchise or organization did in particular to upset you and make you mad. But everybody knew. And then he talked about the reports. There were no leaks from my side. Well, somebody was telling Adam Schefter something because you confirmed every damn thing he reported about what was going on with you and the Green Bay Packers. But he don't love the organization. And I know this is, to Max's point, this is, I'm going to do what I have to do so I can do what I want to do. And that concession that Green Bay made, Green Bay has to be careful not to put themselves in a bad situation going forward. But also the concessions that needed to be made up until this point, they got Aaron Rodgers back in the building. He still don't want to be there, though.
Well, once again, I have to give credit where credit's due, and that's to Tom Brady. Because, Molly, the reason that Tom Brady is the GOAT, and something that you've pointed out a lot, and I may have underestimated, was his decision-making and his leadership. Because maybe those are the most, maybe that outweighs even Mahomes and Rodgers' athletic ability. They also have leadership and decision-making. But leadership and decision-making, Brady, nobody is as good as Brady, right? And he has led the way once again with his decision that, you know what, I don't like the way things are going. I'm taking pay cuts, basically. I don't like the way you're spending my money. You're not drafting well. I need more. And he wound up leaving. And once he left, and he did it a new kind of way, it wasn't Belichick's way anymore. He started being more honest in public, more candid in public. And I think that Rodgers not only saw what Brady did by leaving the team, but also saw the way Brady is interacting with the media and with the fans and his level of public honesty and candor now. And Tom Brady, obviously, to me, blazed a trail. And here comes Aaron Rodgers.
That's a great point, because it's hard to live closeted, right, at some point. Yeah. And they were at the golf tournament together, and it was very telling because Brady came out and said, essentially, that Aaron Rodgers is handcuffed. You know, he's not respected. He doesn't want to be there. But it sounded like Brady already knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Molly. I believe 100% Aaron Rodgers wants a new place. He wants a new place. He wants, listen, The dude has put in major work. We've all talked and lamented about the great things he's done in Green Bay. Sometimes it's time for a scene change. And I think this one particular year that he decided to come back, that's why I don't agree with you, Max. I don't agree that the 12 months are changing his mind. I believe Aaron Rodgers' mind. I believe his mind is already made up.
They got a shot.
Because he's there every day. I understand that. But I think his shot is going to evolve somewhere on the West Coast or closer to where he wants to be.
They're having a party in Denver right now. 1 year countdown to Aaron Rodgers.
or they're crying. Obviously, this press conference was 30 minutes in its entirety. It was riveting. We'll play more of it later and react to it. But, guys, it's only the first day of training camp, but Patrick Mahomes is already doing Showtime things. Come on now. With his signature no-look pass, Mahomes' no-look passes to